Well, we're here. The first New York Jets mock draft Monday of the end of the 2024, beginning of the 2025 NFL draft cycle. Let's go.
I'm going to lose my gas-darned bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking wrong!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. And yes, it's our first mock draft Monday of the year, talking all things New York Jets and draft, because, of course, the Jets were eliminated officially from playoff contention yesterday for the second straight year for that to happen against the Miami Dolphins. Painful, but a harsh reality of this season. The Jets have dropped to 3-10 on the year, and currently, if the draft started today, the Jets would pick 7th overall in the 2025 NFL Draft first round. They're in a grouping of, let's count them here. So the Jets are 3-10. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 teams that are 3-10, and the tiebreaker for the draft is strength of schedule. So again, as I just mentioned here, there are 6 teams, and the Jets are the 5th out of the 6 teams, and that is because of strength of schedule tiebreakers. So if the Jets were better suited, excuse me, in strength of schedule tiebreakers, they could be picking 3rd overall. They're not. But it's important to note that the strength of schedule will kind of morph and adapt through the final 4 games of the season for the New York Jets. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Also, a lot of these teams play each other. The Jaguars and Titans played each other over the weekend. Jaguars won, improving to 3-10. They play each other again. Raiders, Jacksonville. There's a lot of Jets, Jacksonville. I mean, there's a lot of games that are going to play a factor in this process. So keep an eye out for that as it pertains to the NFL draft and where the New York Jets stand in terms of their placement. But we'll get all that going. Also, let me flip the banner immediately, baby. Of course, we're in the middle of our Boy Green emoji giveaway and raffle ticket contest. Every membership you gift here on the channel will enter you into the contest for a custom emoji. And also, at the same time, we'll also give you a raffle ticket to our Jet Surprise giveaway at the end of the month, which is going to include an assortment of Jets items. Again, there is a Jets jersey on the line, some autograph merch on the line, some stuff from my personal vault that'll be available to the winner of that contest. So that one is random. You can have as many tickets as you'd like. There is no limit. So you can buy as many memberships as you want this month. It's throughout the entire month of December to give back to you, the fans, as you give to the show. So that's random. The emoji giveaway is not random. It is awarded to whoever has the most memberships gifted this month will win that contest, which, by the way, as we currently sit here, our number one leader is our number one Austrian Jet fan with 19. But MFC is right around the corner with 13. Fleur Lillian, Big D's at 15. And also we have Chef Kevin Gilbert at 16. So it is a hot and heavy race from that perspective. Those are your top 4 with double-digit memberships gifted so far this month. So let's keep a gander. Let's keep an eye out on that, baby, as that goes together. All right, but let's get into it. Let's get into mock draft time. So like I said, the Jets currently pick 7th. But with everything that's going on, Jets still play the Jaguars coming up this week, 3-10 versus 3-10. That's going to have a massive difference, of course, because obviously the Jaguars beat the Jets will leapfrog at least the Jaguars, if not more. And as the strength of schedule changes. Now, Tankathon has their own mock draft if you click on the teams. And the player that the Jets are currently mocked to receive is Abdul Carter, the pass rusher out of Penn State. Listed at 6'3", 252 pounds, and he has 10 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumbles. I know a lot of people are going to be like, defense, oh no. But according to Mel Kiper's big board, which I also have here in front of me, he just dropped this week, Abdul Carter, the outside linebacker out of Penn State, is his 3rd best player on the big board. Number 1 is Travis Hunter, who's the wide receiver cornerback out of Colorado, 6'1", 185. He's expected to be the number 1 overall pick. However, That may not be the case because the top two teams in the draft right now are the Raiders and the Giants. They're both at 2-11. And by the way, if they both win, the Jets would leapfrog both of them because of their strength of schedule. The Jets have the strength of schedule advantage tiebreaker over both the Raiders and the Giants. That's something to watch in the final four games because if they win, they're going to drop all the way down. Actually, both of these teams, here's this. Right now, the Raiders and Giants have the top two picks in the draft. But if each of them win just one game, they would drop all the way to after 8 of Cleveland. A lot of teams would move up, so they would drop below the Patriots, the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Jets, and the Browns. They would be the last place 3-win teams, both of them in the league. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Abdul Carter is the number 3 overall player on Mel Kiper's big board. Number 1 is Travis Hunter, although the top two teams currently need quarterbacks, so maybe Travis Hunter gets pushed down the board a little bit. Will Johnson is second on his big board. He's the cornerback out of Michigan, 6'2", 202. Very talented player. And then number 3 is Abdul Carter, 6'3", weighed at 259 pounds. And here are some notes and quotes from Mel Kiper on Abdul Carter, who so far this season, 6'9" tackles, 10 sacks, 43 pressures, 20 TFLs, 13 run stops, and a forced fumble. Carter is versatile and has plenty of experience effectively operating as an off-ball linebacker, helping him crack 60 tackles in 3 straight seasons at Penn State. But the hope this season was he would make a dent in opponents' game plans as a pass rusher off the edge. Mission accomplished. Carter has the traits to wreak havoc there, getting pressure on 17.6% of his pass rush snaps. He's instinctive and fast flying to the football. Carter's 20 tackles for loss this season ranks 3rd in the nation. Abdul Carter, baby. And here's the thing. While we all want to say this about defense or that about defense, I mean, the fact of the matter is the Jets are going to need defensive help. What was one of the reasons the Jets lost yesterday? The defense folded like a used lawn chair, baby. That's one of the reasons it happened, for Pete's sake. Also, I think we talked about this with FL Phil 98 yesterday, that, of course, or Hep or whoever it was, but like another factoid is what kind of defense you're going to be running. We're running 4-3, 3-4. Well, what's happened? And that could also change the kind of interest you potentially have in some of these players at the top of the class. So keep an eye out for that as well as we're talking about this whole shish kebab. And look at that, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, baby, gifting a beautiful friggin' membership. Here in the draft chimes during draft season, TJ Begg was just gifted a membership by our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, increasing his total to 20 memberships gifted this month, and that is 20 raffle tickets, baby, which is our league leader as well. So 20, number 1 in our emoji contest, and number 1 with the most raffle tickets, which increases number 1 Austrian Jet fans' chances of winning said raffle. Doesn't guarantee it, of course, because it's a raffle. But boy, oh boy. That puts him number 1, baby. We love it. Number 1 Austrian Jet fan. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So there you go. That's it for draft. Abdul Carter, pass rusher. Let me see who else is in their mock draft here for Tankathon. So here's their mock draft as they have it. Let me get rid of this so I can present it on the screen here. Let's present this puppy. All right, 1 second here. Present, share screen. Mock draft for Tankathon. All right. So with the number 1 overall pick, they have the Las Vegas Raiders going Shadur Sanders, of course, the son of Dion. He's got 35 touchdowns, 8 picks this year, 3,900 passing yards, 74% completion percentage. Insane. He can get the ball to where it needs to go. Cam Ward, who's a big favorite in this chat, he's not nearly as efficient from an accuracy standpoint, got only 67% completion percentage, but more passing yards and a lot of explosive plays. I saw him here in Syracuse, and he is a monster. And I'm not surprised how this mock draft goes, where you got quarterbacks 1, 2. Patriots benefit, as it currently stands, getting what could be or is listed as the best player in the draft, but they give him at 3 because they already had a quarterback anyway. So if they picked earlier, they'd probably still go Travis Hunter from that perspective, who, again, is a two-way player. 11 pass deflections, 4 picks this year. Unbelievable. Talented player. We got like the Shohei Ohtani of football here. We got Mason Graham, who's a very popular Jets mock draft pick. He's a defensive lineman out of Michigan, 6'3", 318 pounds. Very talented player in his own right. A lot of people are dreaming of putting him next to Quinnen Williams, and I can understand why. It'd be interesting in this Carolina example because they would basically be doing what the Jets would be doing because the Panthers have Derek Brown. Unfortunately, he was lost early in the season for the season, but putting those two next to each other would be absolute dynamite. Then we go to Will Johnson, the Jacksonville Jaguars, quarterback out of Michigan, again, 6'2", 202 pounds. And then the Tedoroya McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. There you go. 6'5", 210 pounds, massive dude. 84 catches, 1,300 yards, 8 tutties. I mean, the Jets have Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams, who I hope is back. But if Devontae doesn't come back and you don't know what's happening there with Alan Lazard, wide receiver would be a fun one for the New York Jets, too. Give Garrett Wilson a Robin to his Batman. That'd be very nice. And then obviously you have Abdul Carter. The rest of the top 10, we got a couple of offensive linemen. Will Campbell, the offensive tackle, interior offensive lineman, depending on your perspective on whether you think he kicks inside at the next level or stays at tackle. 6'6", 320, massive dude. And then you have Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle out of Texas. Connor Rogers recently talked about it on the Badlands podcast. He wouldn't mind him as your long-term replacement potentially for Morgan Moses as a potential option there at right tackle because Morgan got banged up again. He got hurt in pregame warmups with his wrist, and it does not sound good. We'll keep an eye on it. He had a pain-killing injection, and then the pain got too great in the middle of the game, and he had to tap the helmet, and Max Mitchell came in. So maybe we need a long-term right tackle. Again, the Morgan Moses is an awesome player. We'd love to have him for a variety of reasons, but, maybe it might just be time for the Jets to get a long-term option there at the offensive tackle position, which could be an option. And then finally, rounding out the top 10, Ashton Genty, the running back out of Boise State, go to Cincinnati, which would be a fun landing spot. Also, Dallas is another landing spot for the young man. 5'9", 215 pounds, 2,497 rushing yards, 29 touchdowns, 7.3 a clip. I mean, this kid is unfriggin' believable. Unbelievable. We'll go out to the top 15 just for giggles, where you get James Pierce Jr., an edge rusher out of Tennessee to the Saints, Malachi Starks, the safety out of Georgia to the Dallas Cowboys, Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan, go to the Miami Dolphins, Jalen Walker, who I saw in the Athletic mock draft to the Jets. He's a linebacker edge prospect out of Georgia, going to the Colts, and then Nick Scordon, the pass rusher out of Texas A&M. Look at all these pass rushers. Michael Williams. There's a lot of defensive players in this draft, that's for sure. And look at all this talent. Just kind of scrolling down, seeing the rest of this first-round mock draft. A lot of talent, folks. A lot of talent. I know a lot of people are saying, well, this isn't a great draft. Hey, man, it's your job. If it's not the great draft for obvious people, then you just got to make sure that your draft people are on their, on their business, so to speak. Keep an eye on that. All right, let's answer some comments here and some questions. We'll also open up the phone lines here in a little bit. Hep says Moses could be a swing tackle. Possibly. Yeah, maybe. Again, Moses loves being here. We love having him. So there's a lot of mutual there. But maybe relying on him as the full-time starter at right tackle based on the recent injury issues may be dangerous. So I hope he comes back. J-Boy says Rodgers, Lazard, Adams can happily get away from New York. Again, I love Adams. Adams looks really good, and Alan Lazard just came back, so we'll see. We'll see how he continues to make things happen over the next week and get healthier. Alan says he's been very impressed with the way the Panthers have played the big boys the last few weeks. I'm not surprised, man. This Panthers team has shown a lot of chutzpah. Shout out to Dave Canales. Man with Rake FL says, give Carlson the week off. Let the leg kick. A win in Jacksonville would lead to hemorrhoids. Great game for those on a fixed income, only $30. Yeah, there was the Giants Saints game yesterday. There were tickets for $1. $1 at MetLife. And again, you kind of got what you paid for. That Giants Saints game looked awful from what I saw. Thankfully, I didn't watch any of it. But yeah, $1. $1 to get a ticket. I wish I lived closer to the games because to get I wouldn't go to that game because I want to watch the Jets. But if you could watch a Jets for $1 or $3 or something, while the Jets lost yesterday, and that stinks. At least it was a fun, entertaining game, back and forth. There's a lot of hoopla, some exciting moments. like Devin, NY for life, which, by the way, let me read this. We counted this on the sheet, but yesterday, right at the end of our post-game show, Devin, a.k.a. DNY for life, gifted a 5-pack of memberships. I just want to make sure I shouted him out on the show. That is Anthony G., Jacob Buenuelos, Jay Perez, Wolves 55, and Momo Adamo. You guys were gifted you each were gifted a membership last night at the end of the post-game show. It was a buzzer-beating move by Devin, a.k.a. DNY for life. I just wanted to make sure you guys got your shout out. And, of course, Devin, you got 5 raffle tickets for your support of the show, which we appreciate. And 5, tally for the emoji contest as well, if that's something you end up getting involved with. Devin does not have an emoji yet, so maybe he will get fired up and join in on all that action. But want to make sure I give those shout out to those 5 individuals from yesterday. Alan asks, how the hell did the Chiefs win games like that every week? Again, doink for the division. Great call by Syracuse alum Mike Tirico. But again, to me, the Chiefs and Jets are the polar opposites of a magnet. On one side, you have the Jets, who find creative ways to lose every week. From the Seattle stuff last week, where I still can't believe they lost that game. And then you have this game where they have an 8-point lead. They have a lead going into the fourth quarter, and they've had that a lot this season. Plenty of games they've had fourth quarter leads, and they've just blown them. And the Jets Garrett Wilson said it best after the game. We just have a losing gene or some shit, is how Garrett Wilson said it. Direct quote. And they find ways to lose. The Chiefs find ways to win, man. They are just savvy championship medal sort of whatever garbage you want me to say, copy and paste, man. Unbelievable. And man, they got that number 1 seed on lock. They got a 2-game gap on Buffalo. And this is why I see people poking fun of the Chiefs saying, oh man, they're not great at anything. Well, they're great at the winning part. Last time I checked, más importante. And boy, number 1 seed to get a bye, which I've talked about it for fantasy football. Crazy shit happens in fantasy. Crazy shit happens in NFL games. You don't want to play anybody. Look what happened to the Cowboys last year, right? So they're a 2 seed. They're like, whatever, we play a 7 seed. 2 seeds always beat 7 seeds, right? Nope. The 7 seed came into Dallas's building and smacked them silly. So you never know what's going to happen. Avoid a game, and that's a little bit of an easier path to the Super Bowl. So, hey, man, I don't know how they do it. When you have Andy Reid, who's this great offensive mind, and you have Patrick Mahomes, who's pretty good, you can figure the rest out. And they have. They certainly have. All the injuries and everything this year, and it hasn't mattered. So, tip of the cap to the Kansas City Chiefs. They deserve it. Alan says, Carter's a speed demon, but isn't a guy to be confident to play all 3 downs. And again, for the Jets pass rushers, right? You got Will McDonald, who obviously has had a terrific season. But Jermaine Johnson's coming off an Achilles, so you don't really know what's going to be happening there. So you have to be prepared. Get really good players in here. Taylor Stern, glad to have this show to take my mind off a little, and you guys don't get soft on me today. We appreciate that. Again, one of the reasons I got into this job is I thought that whatever I do, radio or this, can be distractions to people with things they got going on in their lives. So I'm glad it could be a little bit for that, for you guys. And yeah, obviously, I didn't say this at the beginning of the show. My apologies. Shout out to all the Met fans out there. Juan Soto to the Mets, 15 years, $765 million. And Cohen needs to buy the damn Jets, Lucas says on Facebook. But shout out to all the Mets fans. Shout out to the Mets fans in the audience. Very nice. We'll be talking about it on the radio here at 10 o'clock here in Syracuse. That is true. For sure. Oh, no. I just saw this from Taylor. My dog literally died this morning, and I'm digging a hole as we get into the funeral for the Jet season. I'm so sorry, Taylor. That stinks. I had a lot of dogs growing up, and, they all, it's just sad. It's sad. Man's best friend and all that stuff. So we're thinking about you, Taylor. So I hope this show could be a distraction for all the things we were just saying. Terrence Hill says he's feeling a lot better after the Juan Soto sighting. Is this the Juan Soto show? It will be on our radio show. My radio co-host is a diehard Mets fan. So he will be given a yee-hoo. He'll be doing a little bit of that action. I have no doubt about it. And I just booked us a Mets guest for 11:30 who talks Mets professionally. So he'll be joining us on the radio. I booked that earlier this morning. Robert Foley says Jackson Dart. I'm fine. Let's go. Kyle McCord, Jackson Dart. People like the Penn State kid. Yeah, let's pun intended. Let's take a dart throw. I like taking a quarterback every year. Let's take him. Abso-friggin-lutely. Let's go. That would be wonderful. Why not? If you don't want to take one in the first round, if you don't want to take one in the first round, so be it. The kid out of Ole Miss, 21 years old. I was just getting some of his specs because I didn't have those in front of me. 6'2", 215. Let me see some of the numbers here. A number 2. Why not another number 2? Yeah, he'll be better than Zach Wilson. Oh, great year. He exponentially increased his statistics on a year-to-year basis. His completion percentage is 68%, rounds up to 69%, 3,800 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks. Yeah, there's some great numbers here on Jackson Dart. Good rusher, too. He's had nearly 400 yards in each of the last 3 years plus. He was a real runner in 2022 with 600 yards rushing. Then last year had 389. This year 452. So he can run the ball. He can throw the ball. Sounds like a guy. I like the Jackson Dart shout out. So shout out to you, Robert. Good name to keep an eye out for. We also heard the Dylan Gabriel love. I know there's Oregon people out there. We appreciate you. Yeah, Derek Carr hurt again. He broke his hand or something, so he might be out. But they got the win against the Giants, so draft-wise, they kind of move out of the conversation. As EZ says, hit the like button, baby. Yes. And also gift those memberships. Get involved. You want a raffle ticket. At least, if you watch the show, you at least want one raffle ticket because you never know. That's what I did on the Jake Aswin show. They're doing raffle tickets too. And I bought one. Why not? At least one. At least you have a chance, So, for all the people that buy more, obviously like Osher Jetman who has 20, his chances are a lot better than my one. But, all you need is a ticket to the dance, baby. R&R. It's all about the results, not the stupid process. Yeah, again, hearing that over and over again, because the players get interviewed right after the game. And Caroline Hendershot, she's one of the Jets reporters. She asked the same question to a lot of the Jets players to get that answer. Hey, what was Coach Olbrich's message after the game? And then all of them say, like I heard Isaiah Davis, say after the game, he not much, but, the process is right, just the results aren't. If the results consistently aren't there, which again, Jeff Olbrich has one win as the Jets interim head coach. That was Houston in a wild game, mostly second half. Obviously, the process is not right. If the results continue to not be right, he keeps saying, well, the process is right. Based on what? This is your first time ever as a head coach? How the hell would you know if the process is right? It's not at all. That's got to be one of the most annoying Olbrich things. Jets lost that game on their last field goal because the receiver on the last step out of bounds had fallen down inbounds, going another 40 seconds off the clock. 100%. I'm getting killed on Twitter right now for that take, but Devontae Adams is the reason we lost. Now, there's a lot of reasons we lost. You can point to the special teams thing. You can point to this, not converting in the red zone. There's a lot of things you could point to. But if you want to pick one thing that had such a massive ripple effect on the rest of the game, it's Devontae Adams catching the ball, and he allowed the Dolphins defender to escort him out of bounds. Just drop. Dead weight. You're a big dude. You're a big bastard, Devontae Adams. Just drop. At the time, he went out with a minute 2 on the clock. If he drops, you bring that to about 20 seconds. The Dolphins had no timeouts. You kick a field goal. They have, let's call it 18 seconds. And then if the kick return still happens with a 45-yarder, okay, but that's going to take more time off the 18 seconds. Leaves you with 9 seconds with no timeouts. They wouldn't have enough time to get a play in the middle of the field and spike it. So, yes, long story short, you see, I 100% agree. Devontae lost us the game. Now, I'm just holding people accountable. I still want Devontae Adams back. I don't hate Devontae Adams and his family because he made the mistake. And again, for the tanking crowd, they prefer the loss anyway. I'm just saying from a football perspective, Devontae's gaffe. And after the game, he was kind of like, the refs didn't blow the play dead and stuff. So, we say this in MMA. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Okay, when you say, "Oh, well, they shoulda," no, you shoulda. You should have just dropped your ass to the ground, caught the ball, bloop, dead weight, just like dead fish, bloop, and then fall to the ground, and the clock would have kept rolling. For those who were rooting for a Jets win, that's what should have happened. But that's just me. Danny, in real life, despite the loss, does your MVP idea of Allen change after yesterday's game? Dude, he's incredible. Danny, we talked about it. Josh Allen needed one of those kind of crazy-ass games to get him back into it because, like I said, statistically speaking, he wasn't in the top 5 of a lot of the major categories of like passing touchdowns, yards, or things of that nature. So, yeah, Josh Allen's a freak. He 100%. He needs a game like that. And then let's see what he does on a stage against the Detroit Lions next week. So, of course, when you're a quarterback of a team that's got an awesome record, you always have a chance. But it's going to take games like that for Josh Allen to really leap into the race, like legitimately as an absolute winner. Josh Allen's been in the conversation before, but to win the MVP award, next week's Lions game, I think, is massive. When you have that kind of spotlight, that kind of stage, I think that sways a lot of the voters. But yeah, that was a crazy game, even though it was a loss against the Rams. But yeah, that was crazy. Nick W., I really hope we keep Adams. We still have one of the best wide receiver duos. Oh, my God, Davante Adams is friggin' amazing, man. I mean, he was dealing. Garrett's dealing. Again, we saw what it looked like earlier in the season when Garrett Wilson didn't have assistance. It was a tough watch. He wasn't consistently making plays. Now, some of that can go, obviously, to Aaron Rodgers, who wasn't always accurate. But Garrett Wilson needs a Robin to his Batman, and that might sound insulting to Davante because maybe he's much more than a Robin, but still, having those two guys out there, and look how they are the reason we lost in terms of the production on the field, right? One guy had whatever he had, whatever, I just had it here a second ago, but, terrific numbers, terrific. By the way, Garrett Wilson, here's 2 stats for you. Here's 2 stats on Garrett Wilson. Number 1, Garrett Wilson has more receiving yards than any other Jets receiver through their first 3 years ever in franchise history. And he has 4 more games to pad those stats, number 1. Number 2, Garrett Wilson on 4 of his 6 targets were caught on Jalen Ramsey. In those 4 of the 6 targets, Jalen Ramsey allowed 97 receiving yards. That is the most receiving yards Jalen Ramsey has allowed in at least 7 years. Think about that for a second. Jalen Ramsey, top superstar corner. He allowed 97 receiving yards to Garrett Wilson. Specifically, Garrett had more than that, but specifically on Jalen Ramsey as the nearest defender per next-gen stats, he gave up more receiving yards than he had in 7 years to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson consistently got behind Jalen. And again, if Aaron throws a better throw on the down the right hash, that's a touchdown to Garrett Wilson. But all season, Aaron's been missing those, unfortunately. But long story short, Nick W., 1,000% bring Davante Adams' ass back if he's willing to rework his deal, which I hope he is. Williams says Mets should sign Alonso, too. We'll see if they have enough money in the coffers, but I like the cut of your jib, pal. I like the cut of your jib, William. Tales of an asphalt jockey. I still think we need to draft another lineman, right tackle, no doubt. Again, we don't have Max Mitchell and Carter Warren and this musical chairs of rotation. That's not a great solution. It was fine for the moment, but it's not a great solution. The rest of the line looks pretty good. You got Olu Fashanu, who was kicking ass. You got John Simpson, who's been one of the best guards in football. You have Joe Tippett, who's been solid. And then you have ABT when healthy. I know we always hear that. But the 4 of the 5, pretty good. Right tackle, that's an issue. So, yeah, if they go right tackle, how could you possibly be mad? Invest resources into the offensive line. Absolutely. And like I said, unfortunately, I love Morgan, the player, but, it's been a little rough. It's been a little rough, unfortunately. General game and clock management is toast. Yeah, and the coaching was god-awful, too. Yeah. Coaching has been awful. Do you think the way Davis plays has any bearing on what we do with Brees? I found it odd we drafted 2 running backs this year. I think everyone found it odd, quite frankly. You took Braylon. I'm like, I get it. When they took him in the late 4th round, I'm like, I totally understand taking a running back. And then when I took another one, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird to triple up there. Obviously, it told you what they thought of Izzy Abanikanda, who they ended up cutting. But sure, if Brees gets shut down, and we have no indication that's going to happen, but Zach Rosenblatt sort of said it could be a possibility. So I guess that's the indication. But let's get a legitimate run of what Braylon and Isaiah can do here. Again, what's the offense? How does the scheme change? And things of that nature are legitimate questions. But yeah, them looking good while Brees is out 100% opens the door for other conversations. Again, whether you decide to trade one of your big four from the 2022 class. Yeah, everyone found it odd that they took two. Dakota said he's finally on Discord. Well, welcome to Discord. Everyone who's got a membership to the Boy Green Coffee Club, you get access to our Discord channel for all our crazy Jet fans, baby. We got 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We got our boy Dylan Terraman, Jet Nation. I think it's hard to blame it all on Adams for one play. Yes, it wasn't situation great, but there's more plays than that affected the outcome. You can say that about every game, Dylan. We'll agree to disagree. I saw that you disagreed on Twitter. We can agree to disagree. To me, the one play, like when you say, "Oh man, there was this drop in the first quarter," like okay, not. I'm not saying you said that. I'm just saying people could pick all these different plays that happen. Where you're like, "Ah man, that play could have changed something," and that's true. Sure, this play, this play, that. But literally, in terms of control of what that play would mean, Devontae dropping in bounds changed the clock from being at 102 left in the game to about 22 seconds left in the game. And then let's see what happens with no timeouts. That one play had such a massive ripple effect on the rest. Sure, the defense folding like a used lawn chair. Sure, the defense getting screened to death in overtime and not being prepared. Sure, losing the toss. Sure. The kick return special teams gap, they give up a 45-yarder with a minute to go. Sure. But to me, the Adams one was absolutely monumental, massive. And it's, again, it would be one thing if Devontae caught a toe drag swag catch on the sideline and had no choice. He completely caught it inbounds and then was guided out of bounds. So he had an opportunity to just dead weight drop. He did not. But I appreciate the conversation, Dylan. Alan, Syracuse, Washington State, and San Diego is a snorefest, but nothing worse than the Iowa, Missouri, and Nashville. At least all four teams will spend winter times in cool cities. That's good, at least for Syracuse. The only thing I didn't check was the other game. I saw a lot of Syracuse fans were complaining. Let me take a gander here at who they ended up getting. Who did Duke get in the Gator Bowl? Oh, Ole Miss. Oh, they didn't end up getting Alabama. I wonder where Alabama went. Let me check that real quick. I was paying more attention to NFL for obvious reasons yesterday. Let's see. So the ReliaQuest Bowl, is that Michigan they're playing? Interesting. For Alabama, I think I saw. Let me see if that's right. I think that could be right. That'd be a fun one if that's true. Let's go to Michigan football. Let me just double check that when I was in signing day. Sure. Yeah, Michigan, Alabama. Ooh, spicy. Okay, nice. That should be fun. That one's in Tampa. But no, yeah, a lot of Syracuse fans were complaining about not the location. The location's great, but Washington State, who I believe has lost 3 in a row. Not as sexy. Let's go to Todd here. Personally, I root for wins in the game of life. There's no profit in losing. Yeah, again, watching the game yesterday, if someone had a camera on me, I was woo, Garrett Wilson, baby, ba-boom. At the end of the game, there was a lot of weirdness where I'm like, hey, what am I supposed to be doing here? But by default, I'm rooting for wins on screen. And then the next day, we're doing it right now, the tank draft conversation, whatever the hell we're doing. And then we're like, hey, better draft pick. So, you know. Tales of an Asphalt Jockey. What do we do with Lazard? He had a pretty decent year. Yeah, the Jets have an opt in a contract out on his deal that they could get out after this year with minimal dead cap, like $6 million and change. So he could get out. It all depends on the new coaching staff. He did have a pretty decent year. He was tied for the team lead in touchdowns heading into yesterday. I don't think Garrett ended up getting one yesterday. So yeah, he had a really decent year. But I think there's kind of like a ripple effect. Like what happens to Devontae? What happens to Lazard? Because if Devontae comes back, do you need Lazard? If Devontae does not come back, is he wide receiver 2? Like, I don't know. That's like a sneaky need we're not talking about. Because on the surface, you're like, hefty. And you take another gander, quick little discount double check, like, ooh, Wide receiver, what the hell's happening there? Malachi Corley, whoa, what's happening there? Devontae controls his own future. Jets can get out of Lazard. Might be a lot different. Let's go back to Dylan, our boy, Jet Nation. Garrett needs an extension ASAP by the new GM. Again, we've talked about it here on the show. That should be one of the easiest decisions for the next general manager coming in. You come in and we're like, who's this GM guy, right? Because, like, let's be honest, most of the time it's not one of the sexy names we say. It's some random person we've never heard of. How many people heard of Joe Douglas before he got hired? I'll raise my hand if, like, no freaking clue who the hell that was. And so while I want Will McClay or we want one of the Lions people, this, that, or the other, if they hire random Tennessee Titans boob, we're like, who the hell is this? Who is this guy? We don't know. We just read the resume and we're like, okay, he's kind of been around. And then the first move they make, they go, we've just signed Garrett Wilson to a 4-year deal for $120 million. We're like, woo, yeah, I love this new GM. So it's a great opportunity for the GM to just do a winning move for the franchise that the fans just love. Again, I'm not saying you're placating to the fans like, here's one, fans. It's a smart move regardless of what the fans think. The fans are just also on board with the obvious move. Garrett Wilson's a freaking superstar. Sign him to a deal. And I'm sure Garrett will want the life-altering money that comes along with it. Alan says, take all the medicine in 2025, reap the benefits in 2026. No need to bring back the Green Bay trio. About taking the medicine, I have no problem with that part of it if the Jets move on from Aaron Rodgers and eat all the dead cap. I'd want that all up front. I don't want to spread that. I do not want to spread that. Back to Danny in real life. Just need to get whatever they can for any older players that still have value. Adams included. Take this thing all the way down to the studs. They're all 3-10 and aren't close. Start fresh, build around young guys. Add cheap, serviceable vets that fits next regime's plan. Yeah, we'll see. Devontae would be an interesting one because if he's willing to renegotiate his deal, maybe you just want to keep him. But if he's willing to renegotiate his deal, maybe you can use that to launch for an asset, to Danny's point. I'm making this up. I don't know. You don't want to send him like Buffalo or something, but like whoever. I don't even know. I can't even think of a team off the top of my head. Like the 49ers. I don't know. They say, hey, we want Devontae. And you're like, cool. We'll get like a second or third or something of value. I don't know what the value would be. It would depend on a lot of factors. Maybe a third or fourth. Yeah, maybe that would be of more interest. I would prefer to keep him, but I understand what you're saying. Alan says, if you're Garrett, knowing he will have another quarterback throwing the ball to him in 2025, might be time to ask out. Zach Rosenblatt, and his latest piece, his recap piece, says that Garrett last year expressed that he might not want to stick around long term. It's very vague from that standpoint, but he might not want to stick around if they don't like figure out their shit. And again, I think he will be very tempted with the life-altering money right now. Because, again, if the Jets wanted to, they control Garrett Wilson's rights, put this season aside that we're in the middle of, for 5 more seasons. You have the 4th year of his contract, you have the 5th year option they're going to accept, and 3 franchise tags. You could do 3 franchise tags in a row. So if they wanted to, and push it all the way to the boundary with Garrett Wilson, quote-unquote, kicking and screaming, they have 5 more years of control on Garrett Wilson. 5 more after this season. Now, I don't think you should push it that far. I think you should sign him to a long-term deal immediately. But, like, you know, the power's with the teams. Players can kick their feet and whine about it, I guess, but they have it there. Jared B. Jackrabbit has some juice. Damn straight, Isaiah Davis is better than I would have thought. I liked him in the draft and when we did mock drafts with Dom C, which, by the way, those will be coming back in a month. So the Dom C Monday conversations, I'm looking forward to those. But, yeah, like Isaiah Davis was a popular one of our late-round picks. Let's throw a dart throw there. But he's been even more impressive than I thought. Easy. If we have a high enough position in the draft, we should trade back a little bit. Make sure we get a stud O lineman and a stud D lineman. Yeah, we'll see. It takes 2 to tango, of course, on trades. But, you know, I'm intrigued by that possibility. I'm also intrigued with just getting a blue chipper. Like, from what I've heard from draft experts, again, there's more draft experts to come. But what I've heard from draft people is that there are like an elite few in this class, and then it's all kind of the same. It's your 10th player or someone else's 30th player. But there's an elite few at the top that you want. If that's true, I want one of those blue chippers so the Jets have a difference maker. But different strokes. Alan hated the knee-jerk reaction from Rodgers fans yesterday. I mean, he looked good. Like, let's be honest. If we're being real, Aaron Rodgers looked friggin' good. He looked real good. And again, I don't think Sam Darnold, like, it was okay. Aaron Rodgers coming back is interesting because he looked really good, of course. And then we get the fall, the dopamine of like, ooh, okay, interesting, spicy. That's kind of like, okay. Especially since the other options are lame. Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson staying in Pittsburgh. Would Sam Darnold even come back here? If he would, now we're having a really spicy conversation. Because he had 5 touchdowns yesterday. That Sam Darnold guy. We'll talk about that poeticness, right? Jets get Sam Darnold to come back here to throw to Garrett Wilson, and all of a sudden we realize all our Sam Darnold hopes and dreams. There's something kind of cool about that, man. Again, would Sam Darnold even want to? I don't know. But that's a kind of intriguing option. You have to seriously kick door number 2. I'd be intrigued. Let's see. Ricky is not a fan of the offensive lineman in this class. Thankfully, the Jets have a good stable of guys. Most of the offensive line is secure, which feels nice for once. That one feels nice for once. Let's see. Danny in real life. Don't let Aaron Rodgers fool you. He looked good yesterday, and they still lost. At his age, he's having more bad games than good games. They aren't winning in his good games. The inconsistency shows. Yeah, that's been perhaps the Debbie Downer of it, wasted quarterback opportunities or whatever you want to call it, where Aaron's played well and then you've lost. Although the good one he won was week 3, which I was at, which was awesome to be at. Aaron looked awesome, and I was there, and we won. That was great. Alan says he has a better chance to be the Jets' 2025 starting quarterback than Sammy. How's your arm, Alan? How's your arm? I'm not eliminating any options at this point. We have 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe, baby. And again, enter our contest. All the details, are in the YouTube, not the YouTube description. I keep saying that. The scrolling ticker, is where all the details are on our giveaway. Every membership gifted gets you a raffle ticket for that. But let's do this. We'll play a quick Hep song, and up next, we'll open up the phone lines here on a Monday.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets.
Oh, yeah, baby. We always enjoy the Hep calls, baby. They're among the best in the friggin' business. Again, you guys can call in to the show if you'd like. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. It's a pinned comment on YouTube, baby. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, which we appreciate wherever you watch or consume this program, or the audio-only version, salute. We appreciate you. But if you'd like to get involved on the show, take it to another level, perhaps. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. We open up the phone lines on every single show in the second half of the show. Feel free to do so. On the post-game shows, the phone lines are open immediately. As soon as the bell rings, we open up the phone line so we can hear from you, the fans. So this show by the people, for the people. Blessed be he. Hallelujah. Amen. Let's open up the phone lines and let's go right to him. We got our guy here, Ricky, New York, live.
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
What's going on?
Before I get to my takes, I have a very important question to ask you.
Oh,
okay.
Do tell.
Say I have a ticket to this week's Jets game, and it's in my Ticketmaster app.
Yeah.
And say I want to give that ticket to somebody else. How the hell do I do that?
That's a great question. So on your Ticketmaster app, there should be like a transfer button. So either you could do one of two things. So you can reach out to a Jake Asman or a me, or if you know a bunch of Jet fans, that works too. And then you could just kind of transfer it to somebody. So find out whoever you want. You need their email. And then you can just go transfer, email, bing, boom. And the only thing you have to wait for on their end before you just go, oh, that's all taken care of, is they need to claim it. So once you
Okay.
transfer it and send it to their email, whoever that person is, they need to claim the ticket to make sure that they get it. Because if they don't claim it, it's just going to be hanging out in the ethos of nothing land. So that's an important piece that people forget sometimes. But yes, that's it.
Okay, right on. Well, later today sometime, I'm going to be sending that ticket over to Jake, and you guys, with your membership raffles going on, can raffle off a ticket to this week's game if somebody wants to go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to. Yeah, Jared Verse did not get that sack I needed, did not make the money I needed to go to the game. So since I can't go, I figure I'll gift the ticket to someone who can.
Okay, great. Do you have let me see. Do you have a pen and paper or something? Or let me see where I can message this. You get a pen and paper. I'll give you my email and you can send it over. We'll make it a part of the raffle contest. Sure.
Oh, you know what? I've already got your email because
right. Oh, obviously.
This,
right. Yeah. So perfect. Great. So just you could transfer that over whenever you get a chance. And yeah, folks, for everyone who's listening, we'll raffle off a Jets Jaguars ticket. That should be a fun one. So absolutely. Thanks, Ricky.
Right. Well, I figure, as bad as things have been, that might be the one game that we could actually win.
That's true.
This year. So, hopefully, if I give that away to someone, they actually go and get to see a win.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Now, as far as my Jet takes, you were reading the comments, and you're right. I do not like this offensive line class at all. It's not a good one, not a deep one. So far, like this week, I've watched 39 hours of film already this week.
Wow.
As I've started to really dig into the prospects for this year.
Terrific.
And I'm gonna tell you right here and right now, I know there's a lot of Mason Graham fans, and he's a very good player. However, watching a bunch of videos and stuff, like I keep hearing people say, he's a disruptive force, as a pass rusher, but he needs to be more consistent. I keep hearing that needs to be more consistent. And when you watch all the film, not just the highlights, you see some of that. And I want a guy that is consistent in every phase. Okay. So when it comes
especially for a top 10 pick,
Yeah, I'm like Will Johnson or nothing. I'm like, Jets need to do whatever the hell they got to do to make that happen. When you hear Jeremiah and Sycamore and all these guys saying that's the easiest evaluation I have ever done, he could step in and be Patrick Surtain on day one, and great ball skills, very willing tackler.
Yes.
All the complaints we've had about Sauce, you know what? You draft Will Johnson. If Sauce rebounds, then you got the best corner duo in the entire damn league.
Yeah.
If Sauce continues to regress, well, then guess what? There's the door, and we got your replacement in-house already.
Okay.
So if it was me, if I was the Jets, I would absolutely take Will Johnson with that first pick. And then with my second, I would trade up in the second or back into the first for the defensive tackle from Ohio State, Talik Williams, who is the run stuffer in the entire country. Not the greatest pass rusher, but the best run stuffer. He's just a beast in the middle, which is exactly what we need. So that would be my two guys. And I'm looking forward to getting into some of the draft talk this year. I'm not going to mention any names because the amount of work that goes into that, I respect immensely. However, when Jordan Travis was coming out, I went back and forth with one of these draft experts, and everything, I would say, what about, he go, well, I'm just not sold, accuracy. And I'd point out a bunch of examples. Yeah, well, I'm just not sold. And it just kept coming back. And I'm like, what are you not sold about? Then through conversation, it comes out that his entire family is Florida Gator fans. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. You're supposed to be a draft expert. You can't let your personal bias affect what you're telling the Jet fans. We deserve an honest assessment of a player's talent, not letting your personal feelings creep into it. So, if you want an additional draft expert to come on when it gets to be that time, right here.
Hey, I'd love to have you. And by the way, I looked at that mock draft we were just talking about earlier. Your boy Tyreek Williams, it went 25th to the Texans in this mock draft. So to your point, that seems like within range for that potential trade up scenario that you were discussing.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of mock draft myself already, and I usually end up having to trade back up to around the 26 to 28 range in order to get him. So yeah, you're right on point with that.
Oh, beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, if you want somebody to give you a good deep dive into some of these players when it comes to be time, I'll be more than happy to do that.
Beautiful, Ricky. Please do. We'd, I think I speak for all of us, all 500 of us in the room. We'd love those insights. So please, keep doing that tape study, brother. We'd love to have you on the program for all your draft takes.
Yeah, well, I'm a glutton for punishment, and you know me though. I try to be positive. I try to find that silver lining, and when the Jets don't provide one, all I can really do is look to the future and try to pick out some of those gems for better days that may lay ahead.
Well, I appreciate you creating those opportunities, Ricky. You're one of the best in the business. Yeah. Again, we're in full draft mode now. Now the playoffs are officially over. There's no like, well, if you just do and then 10 in a row and I'm afraid not. It is now over. Mathematically eliminated. No chance. 0%. Not 0.1%, not 5%, 0%. It's draft time, baby. And our future Mondays, I imagine, will continue to swim in those waters throughout the holidays. And like I said, Dom C, I believe, in the new year is when he takes over for our Mock Draft Monday shows, and that'll be throughout the draft season, which I'm looking forward to. All right, back to the phone lines, people. Easy here on the program. What's up, Easy?
Good morning.
There you are. Yeah, yep, that's okay. Good morning. How are we?
Yeah, I have a couple of takes. Actually, I was at a party at my sister's house.
I was just about to say, how was the
yesterday.
birthday celebration?
It was very nice.
Good.
It was myself, my son, his girlfriend, my two sisters, my other birthday sister. I have two sisters, Susan and Joan. Susan's after me, and Joan's the baby.
Okay.
Joan is December 4th. I'm December 7th.
Wow.
So my sister Susan cooked sausage, peppers, and onions,
nice.
chicken parm, baked ziti, and she made a nice big salad. I brought over a freaking big thing of guacamole and some chips, and there was French onion dip and Ruffles potato chips and that kind of stuff. We had a good time, and then we watched Zombieland because my sister likes horror films. My mom never saw it. And she thought it was funny. She loved it.
Yep. Then one of the top rules: double tap.
Oh yeah, double tap, cardio. The fatties were the first ones to go.
No, that's a great movie. Super underrated.
Oh, I love it. Anyway, we're watching it on my phone because I have Red Zone on the phone, and we're watching that play. And my son said when Devontae went down out of bounds, he goes, "That's it. The Jets just lost." He's the one who pointed out. He goes, "They just lost the game." I was like, he's like, there's no timeouts left, and he could have killed another 40 seconds going down. So, and my son's not a really big football guy, but even he knew that was stupid.
Yeah.
Because the whole point, and I mentioned this to Alan on the thing, is even though the Jets fucked up after that, don't give Tua a chance to play hero ball. Right. And that's what the Jets do. They shoot themselves in the foot. They always seem to give the other team a chance to play hero ball.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And unfortunately, this year, Rodgers has played well, but he hasn't really played hero ball for us.
Right. Yeah.
So what I would love to do in this year's draft is if we have like the 4th or 5th pick or something like that.
Okay.
I want to trade back just far enough to get one of those really good, like you were saying, blue chip D linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that there's not really good O linemen, but that's fine. We can get a developmental guy in the 2nd or 3rd round.
Sure. Yeah.
They're good enough for that. And then we take whatever draft capital we get for trading back, because hopefully we're better next year. So we'll need to trade up to get a quarterback.
Yeah, right. You would hope.
And another point I wanted to make, I put it in the sayings. Why in the world would the Vikings at this point not pay Darnold after he now, with 5-6 years in the NFL, starting to get it together? He's still young. What is he, 27?
27.
He's still young, and now he's finally hitting his stride. Why would they let him walk for an unproven rookie who's injured?
It's a good point.
Do they do any sense?
Do they do the reverse? Do they sign Sam Darnold long term and trade J.J. McCarthy? That sounds bonkers. But
that's what I would do.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about because it's a first round pick. But yeah. Sam Darnold's played so well, you want to try to find a way to keep him if you're.
And Minnesota. A lot of people are saying, well, he's only done it 1 year, but he has shown flashes every year in the past, and now he's got protection with that good homegrown offensive line. And he's got the best receiver in the NFL, the best. I would say Amon-Ra St. Brown is probably number 2.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. As far as I know the guy on the Dolphins is the fastest.
Tyreek. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill. He's the fastest, but I'm talking all around talent. You got to go with Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown as the 2 absolute all around best receivers right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones in the league. Justin Jefferson reminded us he hasn't had a touchdown in like 10 weeks or something crazy. So, he had a couple of tutties yesterday. He's pretty good. But, the receiver position is pretty damn good in the NFL.
But he's so good that he opens it up for everyone else, and Darnold's finding them.
There's no doubt about it.
Darnold doesn't have happy feet anymore. He's settled. There's no way I'd let that kid walk at this point.
I'll be curious to see what they do. I'll be curious to see what they do.
He was a first-round pick anyway. He's just doing what he was always. Right. He's doing what he was always projected to do. Only now he's savvy, experienced, seasoned, got a good line, got good coaching. It'd be stupid to let him go for an unknown rookie who's injured. It would just be stupid.
And let's see what the Vikings do in the playoffs. If they go on this miracle run and God knows win a Super Bowl or something crazy, I mean, of course, now all of a sudden we're having a different conversation about Darnold too, I'm sure.
And if they do, put him on the, and if they do let him go, if I'm the Jets, if I'm Woody, I'd call him up. I would say, look, there's no way we're going to let your kid ever get demolished again, ever. I will, whatever I got to do to get a freaking brigade in front of him.
I'm sure they mean it this time.
Receivers they have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's proven now. But I don't see Sammy coming. I think if Sammy goes anywhere, he goes to either the Rams, or I think he goes to the Rams.
That makes sense. Again, as close as it would be in my head, I thought about it for a second of Sam Darnold coming back home and how fun it would be for him throwing to Garrett Wilson. If I'm Sam, the Jets already promised me once that they could wrap their arms around me and support me, and they didn't. And then they traded me for what they did. I don't know. If I'm Sam, I'm not sure if I come back, but I hope he would consider it if the Jets are really vetting out options. But I'm not sure if he would.
And I'm starting to think my head coaching thing. As much as I want Rex Ryan, and I love Rex, I want him so bad. I would take Rex if we can get a good quarterback situation this year. Like if we can get a really good veteran, someone who can run the offense with a new offensive coordinator, and then I could see Rex, because Rex is a good leader, and he will have us at a number 1 to 3 defense again.
Yeah, it's a big mystery what's going to be happening at quarterback, EC, so we got to see, but that's not bad. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, have a good one, buddy.
Thank you, EC. Thanks for calling in, brother. Yeah, quarterback's a big mystery, which obviously complicates the attractiveness level of this job because you just don't know is it Rodgers? Is it a top 5 pick? Is it Sam Darnold? Is it Justin Fields? I don't know. Who's it going to be? We all have no friggin' clue. Let's go back to the phone lines. The captain of positivity. He is the architect, a absolute pillar, a voice of reason in the comment section, and he's a rallier. We rally. We huddle up. We rally around this man. That's Terrence joining us here on the show. What's up, Terrence?
Paul, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Good morning.
Back again, baby.
Yeah, baby. Here we are.
Whew. All right. So just want to let you know, man.
Sure.
This part of NFL, I am 100% not good at.
What's that?
I don't follow college.
Oh, I
a
see.
lot of people do.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I follow 3 colleges: UCF because I went there,
Sure.
Penn State, and Syracuse because my sisters went there.
There you go. You got good taste. A lot of those schools are doing quite well. Yeah, baby.
Well, you gotta thank my mom for that. Mom right there.
Shout out to Mama Terrence, baby. Yes.
But yeah, so that's why I don't call in every day.
That's okay.
I don't have a lot of the understanding of the college kids and who's good and who's not.
That's
even
right.
The coaches. But I miss talking to you.
I do too, Terrence. I miss our conversations, man. So they're good. They're very cathartic for me. Yes.
Oh, thank you. So I wanted to come by. I wanted to say hello to all the Jet fans that are in the chat. But I want to talk to you off this. I got some stuff to talk to you about. So I wanted to come on and let you know about that too.
Yeah, you can hit me up on Discord. It's kind of like a text thing. FLPhil98 tried it during the game. So yeah, you can message. It goes right to my phone. So that'll work out great. And you can reach out to me on that.
Okay, awesome. And I'm the type of guy, you bring me whoever you want to bring me.
Okay.
And I'll put it in my power to make it work.
Well, that's a great way to put it.
I bring. So while you guys are talking about this name and that name, I'm jotting them down. If I hear it in any other places in the universe, I'll do some research. So my thinking of what we need for the team is going to come from all of you guys.
Yeah.
So keep typing in, keep telling me about who's who and what's what. Keep calling in and help me figure out who we think we should get for our team. Please,
I love
guys.
it.
Thank you.
Will do. Terrence, thanks for calling in, brother. It was great to chat with you. I love you. Love Terrence. Absolutely. And yeah, if you guys get on Discord, you obviously have a direct line of communication to me, so feel free to do that as well. Again, shout out to the Juan Soto New York Mets fans. God bless. That's where I told Lurch, my radio partner, where he was going to go. I had a very good feeling Juan Soto was going to be a Met, and he is. So shout out to all you crazy Met fans. Something to enjoy for sure. And thank you to the nearly 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Every Monday moving forward will be Jets Draft Talk. We'll start looking at mock drafts. We'll evaluate what the experts are saying, the Mel Kipers, the Daniel Jeremiahs, what's the latest buzz, where are the Jets in the draft order and things of that nature. We'll give you guys all the juice, baby. And like FL Phil 98 said, great message, Terrence. Not everyone is an expert in everything. Not everyone is an expert in everything. So feel free more than anything to be able to call in and talk about whatever the heck you people want to be talking about. It's fine. You guys don't have to be an expert in every field, but we appreciate the support for the show either way. We appreciate the support. Let's actually squeeze in one more caller here, just coming in at the buzzer here. Let's go to my favorite letter in the alphabet, baby. M. What's going on?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, wow. And, man, these Jets do something unique and different on a week-to-week basis. But we get to the same result, but in very unique and helpful ways.
For sure, but at least they're consistent with losing. I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
You know. Yesterday, I think I just got on. I have 2 little girls, man, single dad. So I took my
congratulations. 2 little girls. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, man, 7 and 10. It goes quickly, but it's fantastic. I call them little, but
yeah.
Yesterday showed me one thing, and I don't know. You guys probably touched on it. I'm sure some other idiot said what this idiot's about to say. I thought yesterday was great for coaching and GM candidacies. Like they got a glimpse of, hey, listen, Miami's not the best, but a little bit of help here and there. This is an affordable team, you know.
Right, there's glimpses. I agree with you. You see the young bucks in the backfield. You see Garrett Wilson going crazy. You see all the stuff that is controllable to the players around the field. Like the coaching that sucks, right? There's nothing that's there, but who cares? You're going to be replacing that coaching anyway. So the lame coaching is just like, oh, well, we'd be better than that. But the attractive parts of the roster, no doubt about it, that's true. There was a lot to like. I agree.
My only thing is this. Let's do it. Stay away from – I think we should take a quarterback every year, 4th round.
I agree, 100%.
But we have to load up our team, man, because at the end of the day, like quarterback play matters significantly. But if you got an offense and defensive line and some weapons, I mean, Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens. I mean, that's right. That's really what it boils down to. So it's like trade out if you're number 1. I mean, number 3, see if you get out.
Sure.
You know, like you're not getting Shador Sanders because you're not dealing with Dion.
Right.
Dealing with fucking Woody. Excuse my math. But it's like, I don't know. You just got to keep on building in them trenches. And sorry to delay your last call of the day.
Oh, no, not at all. I love it. Thanks, Em.
All right, brother. You have a great day, man. Take care of them babies.
All right, you too. And you take care of your beautiful little girls. That's amazing. I say little too, I guess. I guess it's all relative when we're using words. But no, shout out. And also shout out, we got FL Phil 98, baby, a membership being gifted. I love to see it, baby. And 8 for FL Phil 98. 8 raffle tickets, 8 memberships gifted. Thank you, FL Phil 98, for helping the world spin around once more, baby. Yes, sir. Membership gifted. By the way, that membership went to Ronnie D. You're now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, and our boy Jared B. just dropped the Discord link that you can join. Again, when you're a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, you get access to our Discord channel as long as you continue to be a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. So let's continue to spread the good gospel. All right, folks, if for any of the Mets fans in the room, I'm heading off to the radio station to talk about, I'm sure, a lot of that Juan Soto business. So you can tune in on the Score 1260, thescore1260.com, or for free on the Score 1260 app. We'll be live from 10 to 12. We have a Mets insider joining us at 11:30. And off the top of the show, we'll be talking a lot of the Juan Soto Mets stuff because my radio partner is a Mets fan, and I think he's going to want to bring it up. So for any of our Mets fans that want to jump on over with us on the radio station, feel free to do so. Again, if you're local, it's a Score 1260. If you're not, and a lot of people aren't, we're all over the place. Feel free. The app or the score1260.com. We stream live there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. I'll be hopping on the radio here shortly. See you soon, guys. Peace.